Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here, got another Master Duel video for you. Coming at you with another take on Bystial Fiendsmith. This one coming directly from April, who if you don't know who April is, you definitely should, because she puts out a lot of fantastic Master Duel content. A lot of people know her for playing branded to very, very high levels in like tournaments and ladder, and of course 20-hour branded video, but if you didn't know, she does a lot of coverage for many different decks, including this build of Bystial Fiendsmith. So if you want to see more gameplay of this list here, I'm going to link April's channel in the description below, and she's got a video where she plays this deck from rookie to master, so definitely go ahead and check that out. I watched a good bit of that video myself, and I was quite enamored with this list. Mostly because of the Cybers gadgets, because I crafted this card for Sprite Synchro, and then a month later, or like 2 months, very short time later, Chaos Ruler got banned. So it's very, very nice to put these to use again. I'm glad I didn't dismantle them because this card is very, very cool, and I knew it would come up for some cool deck again. And sure enough, we've got this build here. So if you watched my last video on Bystial Fiendsmith, the idea is honestly pretty much the same here, right? The idea being that, of course, Fiendsmith is not only just competent as an engine to support decks, but it can even just produce its own, boards, right? And on top of that, we have the Bystials to act as more bodies and furthermore act as fantastic hand traps in this format. So in the last build, as an alternative way to go into Fiendsmiths off of one card, we were playing a Blackwing card, Steam the Cloak. However, April's build here opts for some Cybers starters instead. Cybers Gadget, as mentioned, as well as Firewall Guardian. I'll show you, of course, in these replays coming up how we can use these cards to go into Fiendsmith. But basically, the idea is that we're going to need to use Link Disciple and Link Devotee. Those of you who have been playing Mathmech for quite a while might remember when Circular first came out, the most popular Mathmech build was utilizing these cards. But the idea is that you can link either Guardian or Cybers Gadget into Link Disciple. Either Gadget leaves you a token or Firewall Guardian revives itself to then go into Devotee. You contribute the Link Devotee to activate Disciple's effect, which will net you 2 tokens. And then from there, you've got, multiple bodies start going into your Fiendsmith line. You're gonna have to link off one of the tokens for Link Kribo in order to go into Moon of Closed Heaven, but yeah, from there it's a pretty straight shot to the Fiendsmith package. You'll also notice that we are playing Vert Anaconda. However, instead of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, we're back on Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. So this is something that I've been talking about with friends who also play Master Duel for quite some time now. This idea that Dragoon kind of sucks. And especially with Celestial coming back, it's friends who were saying to me, DPE is just better than Dragoon. It's just a way better card. And honestly, after having played it in April's deck here, I just 100% agree. You don't have to play Mally and Denier, which eat a ton of main deck spots, right? You can just play Dasher and Celestial. It's concise, it's confined, and I think that the repeatable destruction effect of DPE is actually just better than Dragoon. You might think, but Dragoon's is a tower that omnigates. How could DPE be better? Well, the idea is that not only is DPE, less resource intensive, right? Dragoon, you have to discard card after card if you want to keep omnigating stuff. And there's a lot of times where even on turn 1, you don't have any cards left in hand to discard, or they're all hand traps you would rather use at another moment, right? DPE doesn't have any of that cost, so the recursion is a lot better with it, and furthermore, the material monsters are so much better for DPE. Celestial and Dasher actually do things when you fuse them off, as opposed to Dark Magician and Red Eyes, which just make you really, really sad when you draw them. Granted, you're not happy to draw either of these cards, but Celestial you can at least normal summon. Dasher's only 1 tribute, and again, they at least have effects. They do things instead of just be vanillas. But yeah, I think that the DPE package is quite nice here. Yeah, I think overall it's just a very solid deck. There is one difference in our list, actually. I almost forgot to mention this. I am on Evolzar Lars because I don't own Constellar Ptolemy M7. I used to own this card for, what's it called? Virtual World, but I think I accidentally dismantled it at some point. I must have thought it was just a Constellar boss monster, which rip on me, but oh well. Rather than recraft it, I already have Lars crafted, so I figured I'd just jam that instead. I think M7 is probably better in the long run. Like, if you're gonna, like, seriously dedicate this to this deck and main it, then I think I would craft M7. But for just kind of, like, trying it out and having fun with it, I decided to, again, throw on the Lars instead. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of how this list works. But if you want to hear it again a lot better and see a lot more gameplay, I would again advise clicking the link below at the top of the description and checking out April's channel. But in the meantime, I do have a few replays for us to take a look at here. So I'll break this list down card by card, and then we'll start watching those games. We're on 1 Fabled Luri, 3 Effect Veiler, 2 Max C, 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 1 Destiny Hero Celestial, 3 Cyber Skagit, 2 Firewall Guardian, 1 Destiny Hero Dasher, 1 Bystial Magnum Hut, 3 Bystial Saronir, 3 Bystial Druiswarm, 3 Bystial Baldrake, 2 Fiendsmith Engraver, 2 the Bystial Lubellion, 1 Nibiru the Primal Being, 1 Fusion Destiny, 1 Fiendsmith's Tract, 1 Branded Regained, 3 Infinite Permanents, and finally 1 Branded Beast, and that's going to be our main deck. For the extra, we're on 1 Fiendsmith's Lacrima, 1 Destiny Hero, Destroyer, Phoenix, Enforcer, 1 Fiendsmith's Desiree, 1 Evolzar Lars, 1 Super Star Slayer, Typhon, Sky, Crisis. I love that name. It's such a good name for a card. We got Link Disciple, 1 Link Rebo, 1 Link Devotee, 1 Fiendsmith's Requiem, 1 Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Predaplant Vert Anaconda, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 Moon of the Closed Heaven, and finally 1 Fiendsmith's Sequence. That is going to do it for this list. Now let's see these games. Okay, our first opponent's going to be playing Millennium Fiendsmith Snake Eye, the new hotness. Now that everybody's kind of wizened up to the idea that Millennium is a lot better in MD than it was in paper play, this has definitely been the new most popular deck I've seen around on ladder. So here we open with a hand full of Bystial stuff. I unfortunately am not really able to go into Fiendsmith stuff here without normal summoning Ash Blossom. And even if I did, I wouldn't, you know... I guess to be fair, I could have gone normal summon Ash Blossom, Link Ash Blossom, Magnum Hut, and a Moon of Closed Heaven. And I would have an extra body by going for Saronir. Oh, I should have done that. Yeah, I definitely should have done that. It would have given up my Ash Blossom, but I think that would have been worth it. I mean, it would have been worth it in hindsight. I think maybe I might have been a little bit scared of like something like Maxi or Fruitless, but to be fair, if my opponent didn't have it after I summoned in response to Magnum Hut, right, then they probably just don't have it at all. So I think I should have gone for it. I think I should have normal summoned Ash Blossom here and tried to combo, but we're going to play a little more conservatively here and just kind of chill. So they're going to go for Golem that guards the Millennium Treasures. As I mentioned, it should have gone out before this one, my Millennium Fiendsmith Snake Eye video, excuse me, I like using the Ash Blossom on the Millennium cards a lot, because, you know, the idea is that if you Ash them, then you stop them from being able to either set up a Fiendsmith line or a number 90 plus a body, and you might think, oh, wouldn't you rather Ash something like Bonfire for Poplar, like my opponent's doing now? But the answer is actually no. Because, well, I mean, like, even if you try to save the Ash for something like Bonfire for Poplar, they're either going to make number 90 to negate the Ash, or they'll have full combo anyway, and your Ash Blossom won't matter. So, I think ashing the Millennium stuff is pretty good. Alright, here they're going to go for Snake Eye's Doomed Dragon. I'm definitely going to want to chain the Branded Beast here, because they're going to try to push Magnum Hut into the Spell Trap Zone. Also, by using Branded Beast, I can stop them from making the number 90 here with the Snake Eye's Diabell Star. Okay, so they're going to go Normal Summon Luri into Requiem, Requiem into Engraver. I do want to use a Bystial on Requiem, but I'm going to do it... Oh, okay, so sorry, I'm getting this game mixed up with another one. I thought I was going to do it in response to them activating Requiem's effect, but I actually want to summon both Baldrake and Druid Swarm now, before they link off into sequence, right? That way I can banish the sequence with Baldrake's effect. I also maybe should have summoned Sarnir instead of Druid Swarm here, but my thought process was that if they are able to put another monster on board, then I could just use Druid Swarm to summon that maybe instead. Or as well, not instead. But I feel like that was... Oh, because I knew they were going to have another body with a temple. That's right, that's right, that's right. That's what it was. So they're going to battle with the Snake Eyes Diabellstar here, which is actually perfectly fine with me, because now they've used their battle phase. So I'm not dying this turn, I'm going into the next turn for sure. Furthermore, I can just summon Sarnir here, and then now I can use Baldrake still. So they're going to summon the Snake Eyes Diabellstar here. They're going for SP Little Knight, actually, which I was a little surprised by, but I'm still going to activate Baldrake effect, because they're going to try to banish the Sarnir anyway. They're going to use Little Knight on the Baldrake, but that's completely fine, because now they're not able to link climb nearly as easily. Sarnir F, I'm just going to send to their Bystial Lubellion. They still have a Wanted, though. They actually do still have plays here. So we're going to go Wanted for Diabellstar, sending a Veiler from hand. I think that was a misplay. I think you should have sent the Field spell instead. I think it was a little... like, I don't know. Maybe that's not what my opponent's thinking, but... Well, no, it's clearly not what they're thinking, because they just sent the Doom Dragon with the OSS. I was going to say maybe they want to summon the Doom Dragon off the Temple, but I guess they just end up sending Temple anyway, so yeah, maybe it just doesn't matter. Oh, they probably wanted to send a card that was in hand, so that way they could keep their cards on field and send for the Snake Eye effects. But you could also just send off Engraver here. I don't know, I guess it depends how much you value Effect Veiler versus having an extra body. I feel like with my opponent's setup, they should have valued the Veiler a little more highly, in my opinion, but... Alright, so now they're going to go Sequence plus Diabellstar into Prom Princess. Didn't activate Sequence. They must not have enough Light Fiends in the yard? What does their graveyard look like right now? No, they don't. Engraver's their only light. Oh, duh, I banished the other two. That's right. Of course, of course. Alright. Alright, so Sunlight Wolf. And that's all they got. Oh, they timed out! That's right! That's right! I was trying to remember how I won this duel. And I was about to be like, wait, they didn't even go for Appaloosa? I think I tried to do it off IP, but no, they're not going to do it at all. So, I mean, it's understandable. Like, not only having to navigate the lines of a hand with multiple starters like my opponent had, but also just having to play through my stuff on top of it, definitely makes sense why they ran out of time. I mean, not that I would expect that to happen every single time, but it's understandable why it happened to my opponent, I guess is what I'm saying. Anyway, there's our first duel, but we have a couple more still, of course. Let's take a look at the next one. Okay, so this time we're going to be up against Mathmech. And I always feel extremely comfortable when I'm playing against Mathmech, because it's a deck I know very, very, very well. So I'm often exactly aware of what my opponent's capable of. Given the information I have, of course. I can't see their hand, naturally, but... here we opened Engraver, so we have Fiendsmith stuff to do. I mean, again, we could have done Fiendsmith stuff last time, but anyway. So we're going to go Engraver for Attract. I did Lubellion first, just to see if I could bait out an Ash Blossom. It's funny, normally I use Fiendsmith stuff as the Ash Blossom bait in other decks, but in this deck, Fiendsmith is our main line, so we gotta use the Bystials as Ash Blossom bait. Opponent's going to go Fuelos. I'm going to go Ash Blossom, but they have a second Fuelos. Definitely not ideal, but worse things could have happened here. I could still summon Magnum Hut without giving my opponent a draw. I am actually going to banish the Engraver to do that, because I'm going to not really go for a Fiendsmith line anymore. Instead, I'm going to bring back the Lubellion, set up the Branded Beast, activate that, and then go for the Fusion Destiny. I'll give them one draw off the Fuelos to make DPE here. I think that's worth it. I think that's super worth it, actually. So now, I do still have quite a bit of interaction going into their, what's going to be a 5-card hand, right? Yeah, 5-card hand on their turn. We have the Branded Beast as set up by Lubellion. We have the DPE. We have the Baldric that we search, which can even tribute the Lurie. And then we also have this Ghost Ogre in our hand. But even the Ghost Ogre we happen to draw aside, we still have, you know, 1, 2, 3 pieces of interaction going into a 5-card hand. I feel pretty good about that. Mathmech Circular coming down from our opponent. We're going to fire off the Baldric here. It's actually kind of 4 pieces of interaction. The Baldric does 2 disruptions, right? It's the Banish and then also the Graveyard Banish and then the Extra Deck Summon Banish. I'm also going to use DPE right after the Baldric is summoned there. The reason that I did that is in case my opponent went like normal summon a Mathmech monster or special summon addition or subtraction. I didn't want Circular to still be on the field and get them a spell trap search. Plus, we kind of just need to pop a body here anyway, so they don't have enough stuff to link off with. So I think it was fine either way. They're going to go normal summon Dotscaper. I'm actually going to use the Baldric on the Lingaribo here. I think they're about to link it off anyway, but I don't want it messing with my Branded Beast later on down the line. And again, if we just keep denying them bodies, they're gonna eventually run out of extenders anyway. It might not always feel like that's the case with Mathmech. Okay, at this point, I actually stop one of just popping any old card, and I want to instead focus on waiting for the Transcode Talker for something like Branded Beast or Ghost Ogre. Because that'll not only get rid of a Link 3, but then its effect won't resolve either. Now, my opponent's Almbertian there was very pointless. I feel like that was bait. And I feel like this Heat Soul is also bait. I'm actually really confused by this Heat Soul. Although, you know what? No, I'm not, actually, now that I think about it. Because my opponent, I think, is realizing, like, they're like, oh, crap, I can't just go into Terahertz. Because then they're just going to, my opponent's just going to Branded Beast and pop it, right? So I need to, like, bait out their stuff first. I think they're really trying to get me to bait my Branded Beast here. Or they're trying to bait me into activating it, rather. But, no, I'm like, that's fine. You can Heat Soul, draw. Sure, go for it. Summon Link Decoder, that is A-okay with me. However, as soon as they try to go for an access code, that's when I'm going to take issue with their plays. And after access code activates its effect, then I'm going to activate Branded Beast. Of course, you can't chain to the summon or effects of access code, but if you have your toggle set to on, then in an open game state, you can activate the Branded Beast effect. So I didn't even end up needing the Ghost Ogre here. I just had all of the disruption that I searched up or just provided myself on turn 1. And again, remember that we didn't even get to, like, pop off on turn 1. We got foolish and had to make a, you know, mediocre play. But this, like, follow-up here is insane. Top decking Sarnir, summoning it off Dasher's effect, standby phase DPE comes back, and we could, even if we really wanted to, normal summon Ghost Ogre and draw 2 cards. And that wouldn't even be bad, because Ghost Ogre can use her effect from the field. So that would not even, like, preclude using her as a hand trap. It's a very, very good setup we have here. And again, remember, we had to play through Fulos. It was a suboptimal setup. Oh, that's so cool. Anyway, we have one last duel for us to take a look at here. So let's finish with that one. And our last opponent is going to be on Millennium, Fiendsmith, Swordsoul, proving that these engines can be put in just about any deck. I don't think we actually see any of the Millennium or Fiendsmith stuff from them here. It's like all going to be Swordsoul stuff, but anyway. Not the best opening hand. We're just going to have to set 2 and pass here, but I mean, we have 5 basically hand traps going into our opponent's turn, so that seems pretty good. They're going to lead with Adhara. We are, of course, going to chain Maxi, and unfortunately for them, they do not have Ash Blossom Callby or Crossout. Maxi will resolve. Top decking a Ghost Ogre. My opponent is going to just go for it here, linking off the Adhara into Monk of the Tenyi. Activating Vessel for the Dragon cycle next. Adding the Ashina by sending Taya, Swordsoul Taya. Specialing Ashina off its own effect. There's Nibiru, which is, of course, very, very good against Swordsoul. They're going into Shaman of the Tenyi here. Now, before it has a chance to activate its effect, I want to use Druid Swarm and banish the Ashina out of the graveyard. And as I go to use the Shaman of the Tenyi, I'm going to activate Imperm. And they are actually attacking some kind of weird worm cards like the Marimare. Marimare is not bad, though. It's a little bit weird, but it's not bad by any means. I mean, it lets you go into the Chi Shao, so it's like, it's as good an extender as any, I suppose. Yeah, we're going to imperm the Shaman. They're going to actually go for the Emergence here for the Long Yawn. And it is at this point that I am going to drop the nib on them. And it's also at this point they end up conceding, which is completely understandable. I actually didn't think they were going to make Baron. I kind of thought they were going to make the... what's the... Qixing Longyan. That's what the card's called. I thought they were going to make that instead. But it's like, I don't know. There's no reason not to nib here, right? They had like, what, one card left in hand afterward? Two, maybe? And if they have more stuff, we still have Imperm plus Ghost Ogres plus Maxi is still up. So I think we were definitely good there. But... that is going to be our last game, so thank you for watching these. And again, I cannot stress this enough. If you want to see more gameplay of this deck, or many other decks played extremely well, better than me, frankly, you should definitely check out April's channel, linked in the description below. Again, if you just want to see more of this deck and nothing else, she's got a 4-hour video playing this deck, climbing from Rookie to Master. Highly recommend. Great watch, great channel, great duelist. But that is going to be it for now. So thank you all for watching, and let us move on to our outro. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Just want to give you a huge thanks for watching all the way to the very end of the video. Believe it or not, that is actually one of the best ways that you can support the channel, is by watching the videos in their entirety. But there are many ways in which you can support the channel if you are so interested. The names that you're seeing on screen here, I gotta give an extra special thanks to, because these are people who have chosen to either become a member on YouTube, which if you're interested you can do as well via the join button next to the subscribe button down there, or have signed up over on Patreon and become members there. Link to that is going to be in the description below. Without the support that is being offered by, again, all the people that you're seeing on screen right here, I would not be able to take the time to dedicate to uploading daily YouTube videos. So thank you so very much. But there are also other ways you can support as well. Again, link to the description below. If you like my deck tracker that you'll see in a lot of my videos, the Untapped Companion, you can download that for free, and if you use my affiliate link down there, then that also goes a long way towards supporting the channel. That's, again, free. So is subscribing here on YouTube. That's also free and a huge way to support. You can also check out Twitch, once again linked in the description below. Following and subscribing over there will not only support as well, but also give you notifications of when I go live if you want to catch some of the live streams. But really, no matter how you choose to support, it all adds up, and it all definitely means the world. So thank you, each and every one of you. For now, this is Hexlex. I'm going to be signing out. But more than that, I'm hoping that you have a fantastic day.